make an octopus on a canvas. Before we even start painting or anything, we are going to draw our octopus. So you're going to need a pencil in addition to your kit. You'll also need, in addition to your kit, some paper towels and a little water to the side so you can wash and dry your brush. All right, to make the octopus, we're gonna make the bottom of his face and then some of those little legs that he has. So all I'm gonna do is I am going to make a nice, big, smiley face at the top of my canvas. From there, I am going to make some tentacles or legs coming out. So I am just going to make some squiggly lines, and then I'm going to attach them back to my body. And I'm going to do 8 legs for the octopus. You might have a hard time fitting all 8. You could have some coming off the page as well. Almost there. Beautiful. So I have my 8 legs, and next I am going to make my eyes. So this is going to be a nice big-eyed cartoon-ish octopus. So I am going to make 2 big circles in my body. I'm going to make them attached, and then I'm going to put a little circle inside. I'm going to put a little smiley face, and we're all good to move on. At this point, we are going to start painting. So you could set up your little paint station. You're going to need white and blue initially. We are ready to start painting. The first thing is going to sound pretty weird, but I'm going to paint my eyes white right now. So I'm just taking my bigger brush and I'm just painting my eyes white. And I'm going right over those little circles. So now, after I paint those eyes white, I'm going to start moving on to my background. I want to make it, it's going to be blue because the octopus is found in the ocean, but I want to make it a little lighter blue. So you could use one of your caps to your paint, and you can mix like just a little lighter blue by putting blue and a little bit of white. Once I have a good amount of paint, I am going to start painting in between my tentacles first and then around my body, and I'm just going to paint the whole background the blue. You could keep it dark blue if you like. You could pretty much do anything you'd like. Once my background is finished, I'm going to wash and dry my brush, and then we'll talk about the octopus. So I like painting the octopus a color that has a little blue in it. So I like either using purple or green to paint the octopus, just because our background still might be a little wet when we're painting our octopus. So if we were painted orange and it mixed with the blue, we'd get a little brown. So I'm going to try and prevent that by making my octopus purple. But you can really make it any color that you want. If you want to make it like an orange, I would wait for it to dry, the background to dry, and then come back and add your orange on top of your octopus. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some purple. So you could just take the cap of one of your paints once again, and I'm going to put some red. I'll add a little white to that. I always add a little white when I'm making purple, and then add blue until you get the purple that you'd like. I always add a little white because sometimes the purple actually looks maroon before you add a little white, but it's purple. It's just really dark sometimes. All right, so that is a good purple for me. And I am just going to paint the tentacles and the body. Finished painting my octopus body, I'm going to let it dry a little bit. We'll come back and add some details. I'm just going to wash and dry my brush, hang out for a minute, and then we'll come back and add some details. So I let my background dry just a little bit, and now we're going to add some details. What I like to do is for my eyes, I'm actually going to finger paint. So make sure you have a wipe or paper towel nearby. I take one finger, I dip it in a little black, and then I'm going to make my black dots for my eyes. There you go. And then wipe that on a paper towel, or if you have a wipe handy, or run to the bathroom and wash that out. And that's just with using black. Next, I have my smaller brush, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit of black, and I'm going to add our little smile. He's a friendly octopus. Octopus are really intelligent. So I washed my brush out, and now what I'm going to do on some of the legs, I am going to take my white paint with my little brush, and the legs of our octopus are covered with suction cups. So I am just going to make little circles on one side of my octopus's legs. This is how he could stick to everything. You can make circles, ovals, whatever you could kind of make. The trick to it is the less paint on your brush, the better. While I have my white, I'm just going to put a little white into my body. On one side of my body, just blend it in a little bit. So we could tell the difference between, I'm going to do it on the other side now. All right, so there we have our friendly octopus. I'm going to wash my brush. Next thing I'm going to do is in my yellow, because I didn't use any of my yellow and I want to add some color to this, I'm going to make a little green by just adding a little blue to a bit of it. And I'm just going to put some seaweed on the bottom of my canvas. I made my octopus pretty big. You might have more room, so you could kind of decorate. You could put some seaweed, some corals. You could put little fish in the background if you're really getting adventurous. So I'm just putting seaweed along the bottom a bit. Once you do one type of seaweed, you could also add more blue to it, so it kind of gets like a different color. All about layering colors here. So I made it a little darker, and I'm just adding some darker seaweed. There we go. Like most of the paintings we've done this summer, if you'd like to add some bubbles in the background, I like to add a little bubble in white, little circle, and then in one side of that, I like to put a little line, a reflection line. So you could add some bubbles in the background if you have room. Add some over here. And there we have our little octopus painting. You could add any fun details that you'd like. I like to take, my last thing usually is I take the back of my brush, on my little brush, put a little white in it, and I like to put a white dot in each eye. Little white dot. So now you could let this dry a little bit, and then you could hang it up in your room for a little summer decoration. Hope you guys had fun painting with me and have a great rest of the summer.